You are Locked On Knicks POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, folks, another memorable night at the Garden. Once again, the Knicks were down double digits to the Celtics in a playoff game. And once again, the Knicks come from behind and steal one from Boston. And now, for the first time since 2000, the Knicks are one win from the Eastern Conference Finals. Final score tonight, 121-113. Knicks up 3-1 after yet another memorable night at Madison Square Garden. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. Spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. Please follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your very first year. All right, here we go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, the Knicks were down 14, which, considering the way things went the first 3 games, not bad. We'll take it. Obviously, the Knicks were down by more than 20 in all 3 of the first games. The first 2, they came back. The third, they did not. They came back tonight. As we said, they were down 14 and a 37-23 third quarter. Told you all you need to know about the Knicks, the new look Knicks, and this 25 playoff run. As we said, huge clutch baskets down the stretch, obviously from Captain Clutch, obviously from Mikal Bridges, who was brilliant tonight, his best postseason game as a Knick. Karl Anthony Towns was efficient from the floor. Even OG got into it with a couple of big threes. And again, now the Knicks are 1 win from the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, the Pacers and Cavs still have to decide who gets there. And of course, the Knicks met the Pacers in last year's playoffs. Of course, that was in the semifinal round, the second round, and the Knicks lost to the Pacers. So obviously, these 2 teams still have to put away their respective opponents. But if that is the Eastern Conference Finals matchup, we're all for it. All right. Obviously, scary news with Jason Tatum late. And if it's what we think it was, the Celtics truly are done. They might have been done with him anyways, considering the way things have gone the last 3 or the 4 nights. But again, now that the Celtics are in a 1-3 hole and it looks like there's a chance they'll be without their best player. And by the way, he was their best player today, despite the struggles over the first 3 games. Tatum, up until the injury, 42, including 7 3-pointers. He was 16 of 28 from the floor. Even with bad shots and bad misses, he still pumped in 42. But again, without guessing too much exactly what the injury is, didn't look good. Needed to be carried off and then wheelchaired off. So again, terrible news for the Celtics there. As for the Knicks, Jalen Brunson was brilliant. 14 of 25, including several huge jumpers, mid-range jumpers late. He pumped in 39. Again, he had 14 field goals, including 4 3-pointers, and it seemed like every one of those 3-pointers was huge. Again, 4 of 8 from 3, as was OG. OG also 4 of 8. Deuce McBride had 2, 1 each for Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart. Josh Hart played only 30 minutes, obviously foul trouble, and obviously Scott Foster and the rest of his crew are going to draw some ire from Celtics fans, possibly from Knicks fans. The officiating, without getting too deep into it, has been inconsistent at best. Obviously, the way things went in the first half, you were wondering if the Knicks would ever shoot a free throw. And if you were wondering if the Celtics would actually make some free throws, and they didn't. They missed 7, and that obviously turned out to be key. As we said, Tatum scored 42, 23 for Derek White, including 4 of 4 from 3 in the first quarter. He had 14 points in the first quarter, and after one with a 12-0 run to close out the first quarter, the Celtics were up 11, and then they were up 11 after 2 as well, and the Knicks obviously down 11 at the break, thinking, 2-2 going back to Boston. But obviously things changed specifically in that third quarter. As we said, 37-23. Offensive rebounds, clearly something the Knicks have focused on really all year long and have perfected. 5 offensive rebounds in 25 minutes for Mitchell Robinson, 3 for Karl Anthony Towns, 2 for Josh Hart, 3 more. We'll count it up. 12 offensive rebounds to just 7 for Boston, and many of the Knicks' points in the first 3 quarters in the paint. That's where the Knicks dominated tonight, and obviously that has catapulted them into a 3-1 lead. 23 each for Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. Towns, as we said, super efficient. 11 of 15 from the floor. Didn't make a 3, but as we said, plenty of presence in the paint for Karl Anthony Towns, especially in that first half. Answers the Celtics, specifically Al Horford, did not have. Horford hit 1 shot, hit a 3-pointer, and that was it. As we said, there were Celtics that stuck it to the Knicks in the first 3 games. Peyton Pritchard was a huge factor, not so much tonight. Kristaps Porzingis, despite playing 24 minutes, more than he's played in any of the first 3 games, he only took 6 shots, made 2 of them, ended up with 7 points. Derek White, as we said, hit 4 3-pointers, all of them in the first quarter, 4 of 4 from 3. And it looked like the Celtics, 1, were taking better shots, and 2, finally making their 3s. That's what led to a 14-point deficit for New York. But again, it's almost like that's exactly where the Knicks want them. Down double digits heading into the third quarter. And again, that proved to be the difference as the Knicks outscored the Celtics 37-23. Plus minus, interesting stuff. Plus 14 for Mikal Bridges, who, as we said, was brilliant down the stretch. Several huge mid-range jumpers that he made. Now, Bridges only made 1 3-pointer. Both Jalen Brunson and OG had 4 each. And as we said, Deuce had 2. The Knicks were not 12 of 34 from 3. Now, the Celtics into the fourth quarter were shooting 56%. Again, through 3, 56%. Things went south in the fourth quarter. They end up shooting 48%, 18 of 48 from 3. Now, considering where they were after 1 and then after 2, they were 12 of 24 from 3 in the first half. And obviously things changed in the second half, making only 6 3-pointers. They took 48. And considering where things were for them in the first 2 games, remember, they shot 100 threes in the first 2 games, missed 75 of them. Well, 37.5% from 3, considering the way things have been going in the series for the Celtics. That's pretty good, and they still lost by 8, 121-113. All right, quick break. When we come back, player of the game and then the schedule. Obviously, things are in flux. Could have 1 more game, could have 3 more games. We'll discuss it all coming up next. All right, we'll start with DoorDash. NBA fans, you know what time it is. Playoff season means big performances and even bigger rewards. DoorDash bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal for Dash Pass members during the 25 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh, You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more points in a playoff game, Dash Pass members score a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more, use the code Wingstop50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, and totally free. Offer valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms apply. What's your go-to move after an epic game? Are you ordering wings and reliving the highlights? Well, Imagine being rewarded with free food just because someone went off for 50. Here's the play. Sign up for Dash Pass to unlock this and more exclusive deals all postseason long. When any player scores 50 in a playoff game, Dash Pass members can grab a 3-piece crispy tenders combo for free from Wingstop the very next day with a $20 order and code Wingstop50. That's Dash Pass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms apply. All right, next up is Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Well, between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery, so now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with partners is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA, monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA. And last but not least, Hungry Root. Everyone in my house always has something going on. So I call this the busy season. I don't have a lot of time to go grocery shopping or to cook healthy meals at home. That's why I use Hungry Root. Hungry Root is like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist wrapped into one. They take care of grocery shopping and meal planning, offering personalized recommendations based on your tastes and health goals. I love how Hungry Root tailors my orders based on what I liked or didn't love. It gets smarter every time. With their high-quality, nutritious food, you can stick to your gut-friendly, high-protein diet without spending hours planning. The meals come together in 15 minutes or less, giving you more time for workouts, families, and hobbies. Take advantage of the exclusive deal. Get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA. Use code LockedOnNBA. hungryroot.com, LockedOnNBA, code LockedOnNBA for 40% off and a lifetime free item. All right, folks, as we said, the Knicks come away with another win. 121-113 at one point. The Knicks trailed by 14. And yet, it brings us to this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
That's right. You might think it's Jalen Brunson. And for the most part, this type of game has happened with Brunson leading the way. However, 2 or 3 huge shots down the stretch from Mikal Bridges. Huge defensive stops from both he and OG Anunoby as well. A two-sided affair for Bridges. He gets our game ball tonight. 23 points, 11 of 21 from the floor, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, a block, and only committed 1 foul with that aggressive defense. So kudos to Mikal Bridges. All right, 121-113. As for the rest of the series, well, Game 5 will be Wednesday. That is an elimination game. It is back in Boston. They'll tip at 7. Game 6 would be Friday night, back in MSG. Tip there would be 8 Eastern. Monday would then be Game 7 back in Boston, also an 8 o'clock tip time. All right, thanks for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On NBA Game Night. Every game, every night until an NBA champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NBA Game Night on Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime. That's Gavin Shaw and Alex Wolf. They handle all the stuff at Locked On Knicks. They're the best, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. As we said, Knicks win at 121-113. Jalen Brunson, wow. Toe-to-toe with Jason Tatum. Now, Tatum pumped in 42, but he's hurt. Not sure the extent of the injury, but it didn't look good. As we said, Brunson went toe-to-toe. Jalen pumped in 39, 14 of 25 from the floor, 4 of 8 from 3, 7 of 9 from the line. He also had 12 assists and 5 rebounds. Brilliant stuff all around from the Knicks, who, as we said, now lead it 3-1 with Game 5 Wednesday night. And, of course, we will be with you immediately following game number 5. Have a good night, everyone.